Hi, welcome to Practice with Chris. I'm Chris, and today I'd like to guide you through a gentle morning yoga asana practice. The practice aims to slowly wake up the body, especially stretching the stiffness we experience in the neck, back, and joints, very common to a night's slumber. And as with all my practices, the invitation is to practice mindfulness, or paying attention to what you're doing as you're doing it. Noticing what might be present for you physically, mentally, maybe even emotionally or energetically. And for the next 20 minutes or more, as you connect to the present moment experience, can you let go of any added commentary? Whatever judgments and stories that rise to the surface, can you as easily let them fall away, the way that you let the breath flow in and out of the body? This is an opportunity to meet ourselves wherever we are this morning. You don't even need to change out of your PJs. I certainly didn't. And you're welcome to lay down on your back with your knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And from there, we'll begin. As you rest on the back, give yourself the first few moments here, maybe taking a couple deeper breaths, maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with each cycle of breath, just allow the weight of your body to be supported by the floor. Begin to let the larger back muscles relax. Taking a couple more rounds of breath here. And noticing anywhere else you might be gripping or holding on tension. Last full breath. Noticing what you can let go of or let settle here. On your next inhale, you're welcome to take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, allow the arms to come back down next to the side body. You can continue to pair this movement with your own breath, inhaling the arms up overhead and exhaling, relaxing the arms down next to the hips. You might even see if you can let the full inhalation carry the arms up overhead, allowing the full exhalation to release the hands back onto the floor. As you continue to move with the rhythm of your own breath, continue to pay attention to what you're doing while you're doing it. Might even start to notice the sensation, perhaps air on the arms or the skin, or maybe the sensation of movement in the shoulder joint. Taking one more full breath here, inhaling the arms up overhead. And at your own pace, when you exhale, invite the right knee in towards your chest as you interlace the fingers on top of the shin. Or if that's not as accessible, you can try interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh. Wherever you are, notice if you bend your elbows out to the side, does that allow the front body to stay wide, especially through your collarbones? At this point, noticing how the low back feels, you're welcome to stay where you are, or you can try straightening the left leg. If you are straightening the left leg, find a slight engagement with the leg muscles, almost as if you were standing on that leg, extending through the left foot, and at the same time, as you exhale, maybe guiding that right thigh a little closer towards the belly. You can begin to create circles with the right ankle joint if you're feeling stiffer in the feet and the ankles. Just noticing the sensation that might be present, maybe in the right ankle, possibly in the abdomen or the right hip, or maybe the sensation of the breath wherever it's most feelable in the body. If you are doing ankle rotations, you're welcome to pause and then reverse the direction of those circles. Continuing to follow the sensation inward. A couple more breaths here. The eyes can be closed down if that's comfortable, gazing away from the brain. Or maybe the eyes are half open, gazing in the direction of your right knee. As you're ready, you can begin making circles with that right knee as if you were drawing circles on the ceiling. You can keep the hands interlaced here, or if you'd like to widen those circles, you might place the left hand on top of the left thigh and then use the right hand to gently guide the right hip open. All the while, just noticing the sensation, right? Becoming more familiar with how the right hip feels. And at the same time, noticing whatever kind of mental habits bubble to the surface. Are you starting to assess or judge what you're noticing? And pausing for a moment as you reverse the direction of those circles. As you continue to focus on the sensations in the body, just allowing whatever mental thoughts are bubbling to the surface and kind of dissolve and pass away. As you're ready, you can set that right leg down, and on your next inhale, you can raise the arms back up over the head, maybe feeling a stretch along the side body. And on an exhale, bending the left knee in towards the chest as we switch sides, interlacing the fingers on top of the left shin, or interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh. Again, taking a moment to notice how the low back feels. And based on what you observe, you're welcome to keep that right knee bent with the foot on the floor. That might feel better for the low back. Or you can experiment with straightening the right leg. Right? This side might be a little different than the other side, just noticing. And if you are straightening that right leg, flex the right foot as if you were standing on it and gently engage the leg muscles. It might feel like that right leg is getting a little longer. And at the same time, continue to press the top of the left shin straight down, or the left thigh if that's where your hands are. And taking a couple more breaths here, just noticing where you're feeling the stretch, not forcing that stretch. Again, being gentle with yourself this morning. You can begin with the ankle rotations if you did those on the other side. Moving slowly here. Just noticing the feeling in the ankle, maybe spreading the toes. And then pausing, reversing the direction of that movement. All the while breathing in a way that is comfortable for you. And as you're ready, you can begin making circles with that left knee. Those circles might be small, or if you'd like to widen those circles, again, you can bring that right hand and just gently resting it on the right thigh or inner groin, and then use that left hand to gently assist wider circles. One hip might feel tighter than the other, so just starting to observe. Again, almost like you're taking inventory. How does it feel to be in your body this morning? Okay. Eventually pausing, reversing the direction of those circles. Gently breathing. Maybe noticing where you're feeling the breath in the body. When you're ready, you can set that left leg down, right? Bending the right knee if the leg is bent. Pausing here for a breath. Noticing the quality of the breath again as you allow the back muscles to gently settle into the support of the floor. On your next inhale, you're welcome to take the arms back up overhead. This time, maybe turn the palms facing one another. Notice if that changes the experience in the arms and the shoulders. And as you press into your feet, begin to lengthen up through the side waist, maybe even picking your head and shoulders up so it feels like you're lifting your ribs away from the waistline. And at the same time, exhale, relax the abdomen, relax and soften the ribs. Taking one more full inhale when you're ready. And on an exhale, you can lift your feet off the floor, gently bringing your thighs towards the abdomen and wrapping your arms either around the shins or behind the thighs. And taking a couple breaths here. And one option would be on your next inhale, gently crunching up, lifting your head and shoulders off the mat. As you soften your gaze at one point, internally or externally. Taking 2 more full breaths here, keeping the face relaxed. If this is too intense and you're creating more tension, then ease, then release the head and shoulders back down for one more full breath wherever you are. And on your next inhale, releasing the head and shoulders down if they're up. Bringing your hands onto your knees and then just gently rolling your knees in circles. Maybe letting your tailbone rock forward. And finding a gentle massage in the glutes or the butt. And pausing, reversing the direction here. And when you're ready, you can set those feet on the floor. And if you'd like, open your knees wide like a book, letting the soles of your feet touch, and the outside of your ankles will now be resting on the floor. You can keep your hands in the inner groin, inner thighs. This contact sensation will give a nice signal to those muscles to relax. And as you continue to kiss your feet together, you can now move your hands to the outside of your hips. And feeling that muscle, can you gently hug your outer hips in until you feel that muscle engage? And keeping the support and stability of those outer hip muscles drawing in. Taking a couple more breaths here, can you relax your inner groins towards your inner knees, just allowing the inner thighs to relax. You can keep your hands on the outer hips if that's helpful to keep the stability here. And you're also welcome to take the arms out to the side, shoulder height. Maybe bend the elbows into goalpost arms. Couple more breaths here. You're always welcome to come out of the stretch at any point that your body says enough. Again, meeting yourself where you are. If you are feeling more tension in the neck, you might start to gently roll the head from side to side, exhaling the head towards the right shoulder, inhaling the head back up to the center, and exhaling the head to the other side. If that's feeling nice for you, you can continue to move with the rhythm of your breath here, gently moving the head from side to side, noticing the gentle stretch in the neck as you move. And if that's not feeling comfortable, you're always welcome to keep your head center. Again, softening your gaze at one immovable point. And taking these last couple breaths, breathing into where you're feeling the stretch. And gently opening up the front body. One more breath at your own pace. On your next inhale, you can snow angel the arms down so your hands come to the outside of your legs. And on an inhale, you can use your hands to assist your knees together like a book, bringing the soles of the feet back onto the floor. From here, you can lift your right foot off the mat and then bring your right ankle just beneath the left knee. You can use your right hand to gently press to the upper right thigh. Right? So like the heel of the hand will come right on top of the thigh, just gently softening and pressing that muscle away. You might start to feel a stretch in the outer right hip. You might even feel some more space from the right leg and the abdomen. Again, this tends to get really tight around the hip joint. And so we're just opening this up here, taking a couple more breaths. If you're not feeling much of a stretch, you could try lengthening your tailbone, the base of your spine, away from your head. Noticing if that changes the experience here. And when you're ready, you can relax that leg back down and change sides, lifting the left foot up, bringing the left ankle to the right thigh, just below the knee. And pausing for a breath here as you settle the left heel of the hand at the top of the left thigh, right at the hip crease. From here, you can gently press that left thigh away from the belly. Some folks might feel more of a sensation in the outer right hip. Maybe you're feeling more of the length and stretch in the inner thigh. If this isn't feeling okay for your knee joint, you might flex the left foot. And that might start to engage the muscles to support the knee. Taking another cycle of breath here. Again, just notice what is present for you in this moment. As you're ready, you can relax the foot down. And then one more time here. Let's inhale, take those arms up over the head, getting nice and long. If it feels okay, maybe straightening the legs here, getting a nice full body stretch. You can either flex or point the toes based on what feels best for you this morning. Taking one more full inhale. Exhale, bending both knees in towards the chest. Last gentle rocking here, either from side to side. Maybe allowing those rocking to be a little bit more pronounced. Like coming all the way to the right side, all the way to the left side. Letting the head follow the movement if that feels okay for your neck. And then maybe try crossing your ankles, bringing your hands to the back of your thighs, and you could try rocking forward and back. This might not feel okay for you, and then you can just go back to that first variation. Otherwise, taking another couple breaths here, eventually coming all the way up onto all fours, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, your hips underneath your knees. As you straighten your arms, on an inhale, you can begin to tilt your pelvis forward. Maybe you notice that the belly softens, but not kind of forcing it down, just allowing that to happen from the hips. As we gently warm up the spine, you might try pressing into your hands even more as you lift your chest forward, maybe even lift the gaze if that feels okay. And then you might try doing the opposite, tucking the tailbone under and pressing the palms into the floor as you gently round the spine, letting the chin gently rest towards the chest. If one of those feels better than the other, you can pause there for a couple of breaths, and then you're also welcome to initiate dynamic movement, inhaling into this cow tilt, exhaling, rounding the spine into a cat tilt. Taking a few more cycles of breath wherever you are. And again, notice what sensations are here. Maybe feeling the texture of the hands on the floor. Maybe feeling the sensation along the vertebrae. Last couple breaths. Notice if the breath and movement are fast. Final breath here. If you'd like, you can slow down your breath and slow down the movement. The next time that you inhale, come gently back up to table pose. And then you can bring your knees a little bit wider here than the hips. Maybe the big toes touch, and then you can sink your hips down, coming into a sometimes called child's pose. Lately, I've really liked calling it a resting hero pose. From here, you can let your forehead rest onto something, the floor or a blanket. And then this morning, continue to press into your hands so that your arms stay long and active. This is going to help Really initiate length through the side body. Taking a couple breaths here, if it's available, you might start to notice the breath in the back of your body. All those muscles that we just warmed up in the back body, imagine breathing into that space. On an inhale, you're welcome to take the arms over towards the left. As you walk your hands towards the left side here, you could try staying onto your fingertips this time. As you straighten your arms, you can assist that right hip down towards the heels. Doesn't matter, you're not forcing this stretch, so it's okay if you're up here. But take a couple breaths just breathing into the side that you're feeling the stretch. Let your neck be long and relaxed. Taking one more breath wherever you are. And on your next inhale, you can walk your hands back to the center and carry them over to the other side. Again, you can experiment with staying up on your finger pads. And as you straighten your arms, gently assisting that left hip this time towards the floor. Neck is long and relaxed. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch. Maybe trying to take a couple breaths as if you were breathing into where you're feeling the stretch. On your next inhale, when you're ready, you can walk your hands back to the center and then bringing the palms back onto the floor. One more full breath here in that resting hero pose. And on an inhale, you can walk your hands back towards your knees, assisting the torso upright. And then it might be helpful to have a little bit of support here. I'm going to grab a cushion because I do like to have support. And then you can place that support between your feet, bringing your feet to the outside of your hips. Okay? Coming into hero pose. Right? Okay. So take the time to get settled here so that you can be here for a little bit. Okay? You might start to feel a gentle stretch in the tops of the shins, the tops of the feet. Right? And then just as if you were standing, gently press into the tops of the shins, into the tops of the feet, so you get a little bit of an energetic lift up through your spine. On your next inhale, you're welcome to take the arms out to the side, maybe even lift the gaze as you take the arms all the way up here. And as you exhale, you can bring your hands together down in front of the chest. So follow the gaze onto the hands. Inhale, take the arms out to the side. Arms raise up, gaze lifts up. Exhaling, hands down towards the center of the chest. Feel free to continue moving with the pace of your own breath here. Again, noticing the sensations in the muscles. Maybe noticing where you're engaging in the upper back, and the shoulders. Maybe noticing the feeling of stretch in the chest along the side waist. The next time you exhale your hands to the chest, you could experiment with reversing this direction. Inhaling, taking the arms all the way up as you look up, and then turning the palms away from one another as you exhale, the arms out to the side, bending the elbows and bringing the palms back to center. If you are enjoying this variation, you can continue with this movement, and you can also come back to the first one. Couple more breaths. And just starting to sync that movement and the breath here. And again, eyes can be closed or open. And if they're open, let them follow the hands. Finishing the cycle of breath that you're on. And the next time that you exhale your arms out to the side, pause there. Keep reaching your wrists in opposite direction. Right? If you're feeling tension in the neck and the tops of the shoulders, Imagine pressing your palms down onto a table next to you, right? Taking one more full breath, soften your front ribs into the back ribs. And on your next inhale, you can bend your elbows into goalpost arms. Draw your shoulder blades down away from your ears, and then gently press them forward to help lift your chest and to support the back. Take one more full breath at your own pace. And on your next inhale, you're welcome to take that right arm under the left arm, coming into eagle arms. Maybe the palms touch, maybe they don't. And if this is too intense of a stretch, right, the agreement is to meet ourselves where we are. So an option might be to just bend your elbows, but reach your hands for the back of your shoulders. Taking one more breath wherever you are here. And gently softening the tops of your shoulders down. And on your next inhale, take the arms out to the side, reach through the wrists. Keep lengthening those fingertips, maybe even spread them here as you begin to bring more energy outwards and upwards this morning. Taking one more full breath as you exhale and gently draw the ribs towards the back body. And on your next inhale, you can bend your elbows. Exhale, left elbow underneath the right. So again, maybe palms touch, making eagle arms here. And if this is too much of a strain, then meet yourself where you are. Bend your elbows, but reach for the backs of your shoulders. Taking a couple more breaths here. Elbows, shoulder height. Softening the tops of the shoulders down. Relaxing the back of your neck. Just gently stretching the back muscles. The muscles that tend to be stiff after a long night of rest. Take one more full breath. Maybe breathing into where your shoulder blades are. And as you exhale, feel free to relax the arms down. Lastly here, bring your hands onto your shoulders, draw your elbows in. And on an inhalation, take those elbows all the way up. Exhale, release them back and down. One more time here. And then when you're ready, reverse the direction. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, take the elbows back, up, and forward. One more time as you notice the sensations that are present here. From here, you can relax your hands down in your lap. You can either close down your eyes, or if the eyes are already closed down, you can just stay where you are. This might be a great transition into a morning meditation practice. And for our purposes, we'll just take these last couple moments here, returning to noticing where the breath is feelable in the body. Perhaps noticing any shifts, as subtle as they might be, physically, mentally, maybe even emotionally or energetically. The invitation for your practice off the mat as you go out into your daily life is to consider bringing the same spirit of mindfulness, paying attention to what you're doing while you're doing it, not giving too much emphasis to the thoughts and judgments that come up. If you have any other personal intention you'd like to connect to or dedicate the day to, please give yourself these last few moments. Take your time whenever you're ready to very slowly and gently open your eyes towards the horizon. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. If you were thinking, gosh, I didn't want that practice to end, well, I'll remind you, 1, everything is temporary, and 2, you're invited to head over to practicewithchris.com to join our weekly practice community, signing up for the newsletter, where I will be sharing other practices like this one. And you can also find out the latest news about videos that are available for download, including a longer extended version of this gentle mindfulness-based morning yoga practice. As always, I love hearing from you. So please feel free to leave comments and questions below. Until next time, namaste.